Hi, I'm Bran, and I love When Calls the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan, and I despise When Calls the Heart, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Yep.
Yeah,
Welcome back,
here
everybody.
we are. Halfway through. We're halfway through the 12th season of When Calls the Heart.
The worst part of this episode is the fact that we had to stay up until 10 p.m. on a Saturday
That's
to
when
watch
it started.
it.
So stayed until 11.
How about that? Jax, what do you think is more likely, that Hallmark just didn't want to take the week off, or that they forgot the Super Bowl was happening and so they had to scramble?
Forgot. 100% they forgot, right, guys? They forgot.
They had to forget, but also
Oh, but the Chiefs, though, if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, they didn't know that, but they're Kansas City, baby.
They're
but
Kansas
also
City, baby.
that holiday touchdown did predict a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl.
How about
which
that?
Is just, look at that. IMDb is still showing only 8 episodes this season. Am I wrong to just hope that is the case?
Yeah, man.
Dan, you're never wrong to hope. You're
Okay.
never wrong to hope.
Even if it is empirically not true?
When
I'm never
hope
wrong?
Yeah.
calls.
I mean,
you
why would they
listen.
only list 8 episodes if it's more than that?
Well, because it's IMDb. It's Hallmark. What are you talking about? Hallmark's never updated
true.
IMDb on a timely fashion. The fact that they have 8 episodes up there right
and
now
then
is a
also,
miracle.
Episode 8 says Rosemary's Play gets a new venue and a new cast. They just have the wrong season up here? A new Rosemary's
hey.
Play gets a new venue. and
they
a
must
new,
have meant podcast.
Faith helps a friend make a decision. Lucas faces unexpected opposition. What are you, Mad Men? Get out of here. Are you kidding me right now? Stupid.
That is
when
a
are they gonna-
synopsis from another season. I'm convinced of it.
No.
When are
'cause
they going to title an episode? Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No,
guys,
episode-
I'm getting new internet this week. Don't
It's
worry.
fine. Episode 6 says, the one we just watched, Allie and Oliver discover a threat. Rosemary invites the kids to debate Lucas on the radio.
What's next week say?
Next week says Elizabeth and Nathan's date night leads to an undercover operation at a glamorous party. Lucas
Okay.
and Edie grow
That's-
closer over
okay.
cards. Rosemary holds auditions for a play.
Okay, so
This is
sounds
going to be new in the next couple episodes.
How about that?
That sounds like episode 7's going to be my favorite of the year.
Well, let's get ahead of it. Let's get
I
ahead of it,
can't
Jax.
believe it wasn't this one.
Jax,
there we
let's
go.
put. I know that it's probably already filmed and done and all that good stuff. But why should Rosemary pick you to be the star for play?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love that question. First of all, I'm really fun to have on set. I'm a sweet person. I'm very encouraging. I have a master's in acting and I can do a variety of dialects. I can also do stage combat. And also I can work as a child wrangler for all of the kids in the school, and you don't even have to pay me extra.
That's pretty impressive.
You've oversold it.
Yeah.
You're overqualified.
What's stage combat? What are you doing there?
Stage combat's a thing.
Oh, I'll show
learn.
you guys next time I'm in town. I can show you how to do all sorts of crazy stuff safely that will look really impressive, like punching people in the face.
My kids and I shot a video this weekend because of all the pressure from the other side of the fence, where
Okay.
Bran shoots videos with his kids all the time, and I don't know how to shoot videos. And so we were shooting a Harry Potter video, and they wanted to be Ron and Harry. They're running into platform 9 3/4, but they don't make it in time, so they just hit it.
Yes.
And so I taught them how to run into something and slam their hand against it.
There you go.
And fall
Yes,
down.
you did.
And they
What is the point of being a dad if you can't teach that
they
trick?
couldn't get over. They were
Yeah, it's funny.
crying,
It's funny.
laughing.
That's the new
about
thing.
it.
That's
Yeah.
the new hot thing.
And
Wait, did they love it? They
oh
loved
my
it
God,
so
they
much.
loved it so much. And then I was like, I think they thought we were going to do the whole movie, and I was like, so what's going to happen is, in the book and the movie, Ron and Harry don't make it, and they have to take the car, the flying car.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to hit it and fall over, and I'm going to shoot a shot right above you, and one of you is going to go, well, that didn't work, and the other one's going to go, oh well, school's canceled, and we're going to roll the credits.
Nice. Yeah.
Which
that's
I thought was a great.
Now, what
Save
you
us
don't
2
know.
hours
Yes,
and
it is.
36 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a great ending. The end.
What you don't know is our next
beautiful
movie
short
was
film.
also going to be Harry Potter. Grizz is working on the storyboard as we speak. Not
Yeah.
as we speak. He's in school right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But
Well, he might be.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
don't-
what
yeah,
he's doing at school.
he's-
They could be doing adding, and he could be doing storyboarding.
yeah,
you don't
he's
know.
big in the storyboard.
Well, I'll show you what we got as soon as we're done
I
here.
can't wait to see it.
Show you what
I
we
can't
got.
wait to see
Yeah.
it.
Wait, are you going to share with the rest of the class? I know
I'll
you don't
s-
post
I'll-
your kids, but will you send it to me?
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it
Okay.
to you for
'cause
sure.
I love.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Brianna, if you want to send me anything, and eventually, if you want me to coach your boys,
Yeah.
I'll do it free.
My
of
kids are
charge.
big into it right now. Way bigger. Like I actually love the directing part of the shooting. Like I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I don't love the putting, like the editing. Like that's the part where I just try to keep it all like I'd pause it and play it, so I didn't have to do any editing.
Yeah, well, there you
and
go.
then I found one knockoff of the Harry Potter theme and I put it underneath it.
There you go. Boom.
Done and done.
Bada bing.
See ya.
Good to go.
Professionally edited.
Easy peasy. We're in the movie business.
We're in the movie business.
Well, I just got word from Rosemary you didn't get it, Jax. You didn't get it.
I
Okay,
think you
that's
oversold.
okay.
When she
That's
said
okay.
child
Honestly-
wrangler, she oversold it. That was the thing.
That's okay. Honestly, I'm looking for other
You
options.
didn't
Yeah,
want it
honestly,
anyway.
yeah,
You
yeah,
didn't
you
want
didn't
that.
want it.
You didn't book that one because you
I
didn't
didn't
want
want
it.
it anyway.
Your heart,
That's
yeah,
right.
your
I
heart
didn't-
wasn't in it, and they knew that.
Yeah.
They could tell.
Yeah.
They honestly, I think they'd be intimidated.
You think so? Intimidated by?
No, I actually don't. They're all very good, well-trained actors. Also,
Do they
They're
have
my
really
God.
master? Do they have their
together.
masters though?
Yeah, great co-job.
I gotta be honest. You weren't including all the kids in that, were you? When you used the two monikers, good and well trained, right? Like,
They didn't come to mind immediately.
Philo.tv says DTH for that live reaction.
Let's talk about When Calls the Heart, season 12, episode 9.
Episode 6, if you can believe it.
Sorry, episode 6.
Yeah.
I'm wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Episode 9. Can you believe it?
I can't because it's not true.
The name of the episode?
Fantasy Island.
No, it's not Fantasy Island. Jax?
Not a bad one though, right?
It's not bad.
Fever dream, baby.
Ooh, that would have been better.
Fever Dream would have
When
been the one.
autumn leaves begin to fall.
Boo.
Guys, I don't know. I just read it. I just read the thing. Premiered on Saturday night, February 8th at 10 p.m. Yeah, just take the week off. Take the day off. I don't want a little something like this.
Let's get back to it right after this break. Synopsis coming up now.
Allie is in her emo era. Everything is dying. Speaking of dying, Elizabeth might be dying. She's getting real sick, which includes a fever dream, if you will, a dream sequence of Nathan saving her life, looking real good in the process. He's got his surge on. His surge protector. I don't know.
Yeah.
The nut business is being kicked out of Lucas's office.
Lufus?
So
Who's Lufus?
a quick update on the nut business. Fiona is helping Rosemary with radio stuff. A reminder that Fiona is a tech
savvy.
whiz.
That's right.
And that includes an idea of having the governor Lucas, debate some children live on the air, and he reluctantly agrees to this proposal. Allie decides to hang out with Oliver, seeing as how Wyatt said no to her wanting to hang out with him. So you get what I'm saying. And basically, this all starts by her just trying to make Wyatt jealous.
Yeah.
But being like, I'm going to go hang out with Oliver. And Wyatt does not care. Bill is shocked to find out that a hot honey that he knew from back in the day is in town. They studied forensics together years ago, and the sparks are flying.
There.
Sick Elizabeth ogles Nathan in her dreams, and then when he comes back, she asks him to put on his surge. More Dewey, less talk. Allie and Oliver go out to the pond to do some tests for the
Dude, are the
stream
salmon
because
spawning?
the
I've been
salmon are not
What?
spawning. I know.
They spawn every year.
They're
What
not
do you mean
spawning.
They're not spawning.
They're not spawning.
Oh, the water must be too warm.
yeah,
If
so
I know
all-
anything about marine biology.
Yeah, the water's too warm, if you can believe it.
Interesting.
On their way back, they see cattle tracks. And that's like, if you have the cattle and then the warm water, you do the rest of the math there. It's pretty clear.
Habitats.
They have to hide.
Ecosystems.
They have to hide because they hear some guys coming on the horses. And so they got to Got to scurry. Bill and Eagle Eye McGill, that's her name. Go
X-Ray McGill.
X-Ray McGill.
Yeah,
thanks.
come
Go to question some guy named Sonny about the gold coins. So I guess Rosemary's off the case, and that's big fun. Elizabeth keeps having fantasies about Nathan as if he's a piece of meat. At one point, Nathan pours water on himself. The radio show happens, and Allie brings him the cold, hard facts to Governor Lucas about the salmon problem. And he's like, I will look into the salmon spawning problem. There's a whole storyline in here about Joseph trying to get his daughter into the school. Do you remember the school situation?
Yes.
And he did this without talking to Minnie first. They worked through it, though. Allie tells Oliver about the radio show thing, and he's impressed with her and her cupcakes. I don't mean anything by that. I don't mean. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean anything by it.
Why would you?
He says these are really impressive cupcakes.
Well, they're technically Elizabeth's cupcakes.
Okay, fine. I don't.
So he's impressed with Elizabeth's cupcakes.
He's impressed
I don't
with
know. This might get
Elizabeth's
complicated.
Cupcakes.
I wasn't trying to do a thing here. Elizabeth is starting to feel better, and Fiona encourages her to publish her curriculum about project-based learning.
Oh man, it's gonna rock the world in 40 years.
And the episode ends with Nathan having a steamy dream about Elizabeth, and he wakes up, sneezes, and the dog was licking him, and I guess he's sick now too. And that, my friends, was
When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 6,
when autumn leaves begin to fall.
We did it.
Super Bowl edition.
Super Bowl edition.
Big game edition. Sorry.
Big game.
Can't say
Super Bowl.
Superb Owl.
Superb Owl.
Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we will.
No, if you can hit the right button here, it'd be big.
Okay.
Be real big.
Here on Deck the Hallmark. Sorry. Welcome back,
Wait,
everybody.
that's you, Bran, right? That's you saying that?
It's not me.
No.
Thank you though for it.
It's not.
It's a
No.
long
It's just-
story. It's a long story.
That we've not done this with you, Jax. That I'm lonely is not a song. That is a line of dialogue someone said, supposedly speaking, not singing, from a movie we watched this year.
Wait, which one?
It was on a not Hallmark. It was on a different network. She is not. There's no music playing in the scene. So like we're watching music, but in the scene, she's in a room, and her husband are having a big fight, and she says she's just she's not singing there.
Yeah.
Not.
Wait, but that's not her.
That's her.
That's her.
That's the actual line taken from the movie as
I
played
didn't
in the
do
movie.
anything to it.
He didn't edit that.
Here's the whole line.
Can you
Here's
play
the
it
whole
one
line.
more
Here's
time?
the whole
Yes.
line.
Okay.
I'm lonely.
That is actually what happens in the movie. And
Guys.
she is not singing.
Guys, that's amazing. I always thought it was Bran, and I was utterly delighted by
Sure.
it. But now I'm
This
going
is
to
an
need you to
actual-
send me the
yeah,
end
we'll
of
get
that.
you
Wow.
the-
Delivering
We'll get you the
a
movie.
line.
The movie is a really fun watch. So I would encourage you to.
I'm
Do you remember the
lonely.
name of it?
I never
always
do.
forget the
Yeah,
title of
it's-
it. Christmas with my ex.
Christmas with my ex.
Yeah,
sounds
that
right.
sounds right.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's
right.
exactly how that goes in that movie.
Christmas
True
with my
story.
ex.
Shout out, Christmas with my ex.
Let's talk about this episode of When Calls the Heart. Let's share our hot takes on it. We're not going to hold back, even though it aired at a different time. We
That's
have
right.
to be fair about
That's right.
this. Jax, what did you think of episode 6 of season 12?
I've said it before. I'll say it again. When Calls the Heart is the horniest
God,
show
it's unbelievable.
on television. These fever dreams, they were fun, you guys. Like, look, I'll say it straight up because I think you guys will have valid criticisms of this episode, and I get it. Does it move along any sort of big story for the season? Absolutely not. Does it really have a plot that's compelling? Also no. But does it have some scenes between characters that, I'm enjoying and some fun relationship development? Yeah. It was great to get to see Elizabeth wasted because we're never going to get to see that on When Calls the Heart.
Correct.
And she drank 3 bottles of cough medicine, and we get to enact all these fantasies. And then finally, I'm just going to say, you guys, I am so happy that Melissa Gilbert was in this episode because she's a fantastic actress.
Little House on the
But-
Prairie
Yeah,
fame. I knew
classic
that.
Little House on the Prairie
I
fame.
had to tell you
Yeah,
that,
that's right. Yeah,
Jax.
yeah.
And
We-
I want
we
the
knew.
credit. Yeah, I wanted the
You guys,
credit.
okay. Are you guys fans of Megyn Kelly from Fox News?
No.
Great. Just wanted to clear that up. So I want to tell you.
Did you think there was a shot that we were?
I just
seems
wanted,
like a
I was like, am I
did want to set it up just in case. So basically, Megyn Kelly was like tweeting at Netflix and saying like, "Oh, you better not make that, remake woke." And here's what Melissa Gilbert of Little House on the Prairie fame. Thank you, Brand, for letting me know she's on that show. Here's
Sure.
what she said.
hot pot, as I call it?
She said, watch the original again. TV doesn't get too much more woke than we did. We tackled racism, addiction, nativism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, rape, spousal abuse, and every other woke topic you can think of. Thank you very much. Now she's on One Calls the Heart, playing opposite Jack Wagner, who from his surprising Instagram likes that I've noticed seems more conservative than I would have liked. So I bet there's a lot of snap, crackle, pop on set, and I can't wait to see where this goes.
Jack's just crushing the hot take as per usual. Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. First of all, I disagree about the fantasy sequences. I did not think they were fun. I thought that they were cheap. And a clear hey.
It's the most meta this show has ever been.
It rubbed me the wrong way, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But it rubbed me the wrong way. What were they fun and silly? And I'm sure they had fun doing it. Yeah, of course. But it rubbed me the wrong way, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I also thought that not Megyn Kelly, but the woman who's mad at Megyn Kelly in real life. I thought that she was that woman,
Melissa Gilbert,
that Bill had that thing with a couple seasons ago. Was that like his ex-wife? Do you remember this?
That actor. They've done movies together.
I know, but when she first came on screen, I was like,
Josie Bissett.
Yeah, Josie.
Joe
And
Bissett,
when they first came on screen, this shows how much that I've been paying attention. When it first happened, I was like, oh, she's back. And it wasn't until later I was like, oh, she's the new. When they were on the train talking about the forensics thing, I was like, oh, this is a new character. It's a whole new thing. So then I had to do that. But you know what? They were good together. I think the problem though is now that that's happening, Bill and Rosemary are no longer the tag team crime fighting duo that we were promised earlier in this season. And that was the thing that I was most excited about for the season. And so now I'm a bit disgruntled. And people, you're already coming at me, people. That's Brand, you're such a prude. The fantasy sequences were fun. I don't know what to tell you. It rubbed Brand the wrong way. Call me prude. Call me old fashioned. I don't want that near my When Calls the Heart. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Dan?
Yeah. So. First of all, just as a sidebar, this is one of the worst episodes of television I've ever seen of any kind. And I'll say that first so you're not confused about where I stand.
Okay.
A couple of things. One of the absolute worst episodes of television I've ever seen in my life. The fantasy sequences, I think you said while we were watching this isn't When Calls the Heart. And I think, so there's one group of people who watch this because it's chaste and it's very much not what we saw during this episode before Super Bowl Sunday. I didn't like it because this show cannot wink at itself. This is not Community. It's not Weird Al Yankovic. It's not you cannot make When Calls the Heart a show that knowingly winks at itself. It is too serious a television program.
That's interesting, though. If Weird Al was on an episode, do you think it would save it for you?
It would. Yeah, absolutely it would. Right. But
you brought it up.
There are shows like Arrested Development, my favorite comedy of all time, made an entire living of just being very meta and talking about its existence while being a television show. This is not that. And so the people that the fantasy sequences work for are people that they watch the show purely for Kevin McGarry, or people like Jax who are like, these are fun, it's silly, this is a fun thing. We are in season 12 of a television program, and we all know that by that point, most ideas are on the table, unfortunately. So am I surprised that this happened? No. Did I like it? No. Here's why this is such a bad episode of television. One, I think that the Melissa Gilbert thing was tough for us. And obviously this television program isn't for us because that was kept a big secret. There was an embargo on the review of this episode because of the presence of Melissa Gilbert that they kept a secret. When they reveal her, I did not know who it was. Didn't know who it was. And I get it. If that makes me uncultured, that's fine. But the problem is not that. Melissa Gilbert seems, from all I've heard, like a wonderful person. The problem is that 3 episodes ago, we had one thing we were excited about. And it was Bill and Rosemary doing the thing we wanted them to do last year, which was on an adventure, solving a case. And I said, if they get more than 50 minutes, it'll be the best season they've had in a long time. And I started doing a count, and it took 2 episodes for them to bail on that altogether. It's done. Bill and Rosemary are no longer cracking the case. They're not going to be together doing any of this. And I'm sure Melissa Gilbert was wonderful to see for people who love her and love the show. But for me, it represented yet another time where When Calls the Heart has something and they go, nah, that would be too good for this television program. Let's not do it. And that's what they did here. Bill and Rosemary are not going to solve a case. It's not going to happen. Have I mentioned salmon spawning yet? You know why I haven't? Because it's the most boring thing you could ever talk about. Allie and Ollie are on an ecosystem animal rights campaign that would have been laughed out of the building in the 1920s and is so boring. I think I'd rather just watch a commercial. Like, could you do like extra commercials aside from, let me take the temperature of this water? I'm Ollie. The water's too warm. That's why the salmon aren't spawning. Look, cow tracks. Guys, I only get to live one time. This is it. This is my one time to live.
As far as we know.
The one thing about this show that was working was Bill and Rosemary solving a case. Instead, I got stunt casting and salmon spawning and 5 Kevin McGarry splash water on my face PG/X rated fantasy scenes. God almighty.
I got to be honest, though, with your luck, even if you did live a second life, you'd still have to watch the show. That's your cross to bear.
And we also are implying that the only way that Aaron Krakow can have a sexual fantasy is drugged up. Guys.
Drugged up and sex.
This is a
sick.
problem. This is a problem. This is not healthy. This show sucks. This episode sucks compared to the show.
I actually just got word, and this is true. They actually they didn't move the show because of the Super Bowl. They moved it because they couldn't air this on the Sabbath.
You couldn't air it on the Sabbath.
That's pretty big.
Keep it holy, you know what I mean?
Big if true.
Yeah, big if true.
It's time for all the feels. It's where we talk about what in this episode gave us feels. Jax.
Sorry, I'm so tickled by the two of you that I'll have to. I'll say my. I do have a couple feels, but as I was thinking of the feels, I had a feel just from this podcast. So wait, have they called Oliver Ollie, or were you just calling him Ollie because
I don't know. I thought it was cute when you did it.
I thought they said Ollie in the episode. If I made it up myself, shout out to me.
I'm going to say Dan.
I coined Ollie.
Dan's coining Ollie.
Ollie is actually their shipping name, Oliver and
Yeah,
Ollie.
that's what I was just gonna. Yes,
I'm Ollie.
Yes, I'm Ollie, and it made me so happy while you were talking. I was so just tickled by that. So that was a feel. Let's talk about Ollie using their ship name. You guys, honestly, I thought this acting was the best we've seen from Jada, who plays Allie. She's doing lovely work in this episode. This kid who plays Oliver is so good. Oh, Dan's giving me the look. I swear to you, though, the really good work in this episode. And when they both confess about their parents being in prison, I don't know, the vulnerability, you guys, it got to me, and I actually did tear up, and I thought it was really, really sweet, and I was very moved. I was very moved by this.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Do you believe that, Jax? What you just
said?
No.
Well, I do stand behind truly that I think this was the best work she's done that I've ever seen.
Okay, got it.
And that is true, and I think it was good work.
That's right. Great.
I feel like now I'm saying it in a way that makes it seem worse than what. No,
Do you mean you stand behind it like so you can't be seen?
That's funny. That was good. You did come up with that. Listen.
It's good work. It's good work, you guys. Look, these kids grew up on the show. They're learning how to act as it goes, and she's doing a good job.
I just want to say, I want to get out ahead of this. As the person who has been the most pro Allie, I think in the history of Deck the Hallmark, I have been consistently pro Allie. My biggest fear is this show becomes the Allie and Ollie show.
It's the worst.
That's my biggest fear. If it's every
time out. I'm sorry. Go back to Jax. Jax,
you
I
just
know that you said that you thought the acting was good, and that's fine. That is totally fine. You thought that plot line was good?
Oh, I mean,
that's
honestly,
interesting.
Like, no, I think
that was the most boring thing ever, right?
Oh, with the salmon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the salmon thing is awful, but them getting to talk, the salmon is like inconsequential to me. I honestly forgot about it. I was like, they're talking about their trauma, and whatever activity we're going to do talking about our trauma, whether it's milkshakes at a diner, not in Hope Valley, but, you know, at the Max.
You know what? You've convinced me. This is the best episode of the season.
Well, my trauma,
I didn't say it was
my trauma were field trips to Paris Mountain, where we spent the day measuring the temperature of water. And I thought, now that
Shout
I'm
out
not
Paris
in
Mountain, though, great establishment here.
Paris
in
Mountain's
Greenville.
amazing, and the water is
it.
pH 7.4.
Perfect.
It's you could drink it straight out of the stream.
Exactly right.
But
Best
I
water in the
thought since I
country.
was out of school now, I didn't have to do that anymore. But apparently, you can still take an educational field trip on Wind Calls the Heart. It's
project-based learning, B.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, just a quick question for both of you. Do you think if we're going by who had the most dialogue in this episode, it might have been Allie.
Allie might have been one. Yeah, it might be one because a lot of McGarry's time is spent just throwing water on himself.
I would like to take this. I would like to take this to the tape and time it. I mean, I don't really want to. If someone wants to do it for me, I think that Allie might be top 3 for the season.
Yeah.
For dialogue.
3 on the
screen,
call sheet.
which is interesting.
It's a lot of things.
I don't want to. You know, we're on episode 6, and I feel bad already recycling feels. But can we go back to Rosemary's Little Xylophone? I said this a few weeks ago, and not one of you emailed me a pocket xylophone and been like, hey, I found it. And that bums me out because I don't know why we're doing this if not to get me a pocket xylophone. And I do want to get that. So I'm going to get ahead of it now. I'm going to be like, I'm going to make it as clear as possible. Find me that xylophone. Dan? Any feels?
All of my feels were expressed in my hot take. I think I'm good.
All right.
Good.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll get to the way what's in the hopes and valleys here on Deck the Hallmark. I don't want a baby one. I don't want a baby xylophone. I want a pocket xylophone. Okay. I think that's an important distinction.
Yes.
Let's get to the Wait What's. It's where we talk about what in this episode made us go, wait, what? I'll start with you, Jax.
Yeah. So it is interesting. I feel like we just keep restarting every week in terms of a whole slew of characters we don't even see.
What is this show about right now? What's the big driving plot line?
What's the big try? Exactly. There's not really one. We didn't see Edie this episode. We didn't see Faith. We haven't seen Lily. We've seen we haven't seen Baby Jack. We haven't seen Mesu or Hickam. Thank goodness.
And Hickam, I forgot they existed. Oh my goodness.
A big wait what was where are all they?
Yep.
We've kind of lost the plot line with Ava a little bit. What's going on with the trunk that it's not hers, but like they're not giving me enough, so I'm not as invested in it. And the wait what, and this is a testament to these actors who are really great. Kayla Wallace and Viv Leacock in this scene where, you know, he's like, you shouldn't have to, you know, sacrifice everything to, you know, do what's right by God, do what's right by yourself. That's not verbatim. It was much more eloquent and performed much better than that. But I'm like, I just need this to be more of the show.
That was the best scene of this episode by a mile. Yeah.
Why aren't we giving it more time? Why, honestly, even if you only have Kayla for, I don't know, like a week or less, just work that girl back to back and just shoot as much as you can. Maybe they did. Maybe they only had a day with her. Maybe they only had 2 days with her. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Sounds more like the hot take.
Fair enough, Jackson.
Yeah.
Listen, Nathan is painted in this episode as being some sort of like romantic hero.
Yeah.
But my guy consistently leaves
That's
his
right.
very, very sick girlfriend to
Yeah.
fend for herself.
Yeah.
And it's like, you good? You good, Shotty? All right, thumbs up. I'll be back
Shawty.
later. Buddy, just like take the day.
Take the day.
And just like care for her. I don't like he's just it was out to lunch. Did I use that phrase
Yeah,
correctly?
you nailed it. Out to lunch.
Allie kept cupcakes wrapped up in a napkin in her bag, which is crazy
Yeah.
to me. Like
That is crazy.
and they didn't get smushed. They looked perfect. It's crazy. If I were to put a cupcake in my backpack, it wouldn't take more than 2 seconds for that sucker to be destroyed.
Just
Crumbs are
mushed.
just
Yeah,
falling out
everywhere.
everywhere. Hers, perfect. No problem there. Also, shout out to this town who, in the days maybe, they come up with this idea for the radio show. They get it approved. It goes on the air. And from coming up with the idea to going on the air, I'm guessing it was a day or two, tops.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
it was enough time for them to make a banner.
Made banner.
To make a banner,
Hand-stitched banner.
that they have hanging on her desk, even though it's radio and the people at home can't see it. They have made banner.
They made banner.
They've made banner, and that's impressive. And that's the type of commitment that you can get only in Hope Valley. Dan?
Yeah, shout out to the fact that after watching Elizabeth's fantasies of Nathan, which are, to Jax's point, the horniest thing you're going to see on television, Nathan's fantasy of Elizabeth is so chaste, just so sweet. It's like Nathan would never, he would never sexualize Elizabeth. Like he wouldn't. Just a typical Mountie who is just above, even in his wildest fantasy, she is fully clothed doing laundry.
Yeah.
Like in Elizabeth's fantasy, Nathan is like half undressed, just shirt, just skin tight, water all over him.
Poured
And
a
in-
gallon of
and
milk
in
on his head.
Nathan's fantasy of Elizabeth, Aaron Krakow is wearing a Sunday morning dress doing the laundry.
Frolicking through the fields.
I mean, just full G-rated, shout out to Mountie Nathan.
Above and
for,
beyond.
Even in his dreams, keeping it G-rated. I mean, that's respect right there. That's
a good boy.
That's respect this guy has.
And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. Listen, Nathan, above and beyond, even in his dreams.
Did this cross your mind at all, Jax?
I actually was annoyed that he
Yeah.
was fantasizing about her doing chores. I was
Right?
like, okay.
Yeah.
I am a sexual being. I don't just cook your meals and not me, Elizabeth.
I
All
want
right,
that.
Lee,
I
go
want
ahead
that,
and
Lee.
take
You
that.
can cut
You
that,
got that,
so
Lee.
easily.
You got that, Lee.
So easily cut right there. Perfect. But I love.
I don't know
that-
what we're gonna do with that, but we'll have it.
Yeah, that was the wildest thing to me was when we get to that last fantasy. Okay. Okay. All right. Whatever you say, guys. Bill's like, he's talking to Melissa Gilbert. He's like, they used to call you X-Ray McGill. I guess that was back when they were in that class of co-ed forensics program in the 1800s. You know, Jax, you're familiar with all the co-ed science forensics departments in the 1800s in the United States of America. Men and women was going to school beside each other, being educated at a high level. It was just so common.
Well,
back then.
she said she was the only woman, and all the other men looked at her like she was a woman, but not Bill. Not Bill.
No, he had fantasies like Nathan Grant, just above board. She's just ironing some clothes and like a long sleeve frock. Yeah. Old X-Ray McGill over there. Hey, is grilled cheese now at the Queen of Hearts? Is it like amazing? Is it a special, or is it the only thing they serve these days? Because they said grilled cheese in 4 different scenes. It used to be like Gustav's making a goulash and a blah, blah, blah. now every time they talk about the Queen of Hearts, it's like, could you get me a grilled
Rest
cheese?
in peace, obviously. To
Rest in
Gustav.
peace, obviously, to Gustav, who's just not around anymore. But the grilled cheese is it. It's the only thing they're talking about from the Queen of Hearts. The only food they sell. If you're getting food there, it's a grilled cheese. That's it. That's the only thing we possibly have. You know how when you're really sick and have to sleep all the time, how your really young 4-year-olds just leave you alone because they get it?
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Dan.
you know what
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Brandon.
they're great.
Like if you get the flu, like I remember, like when my kids are 8.5 now, and they're super helpful. When they were like 4.5, they understood. Like they understood. Like I couldn't really get out of bed. They were totally respectful of that and didn't need anything.
Yeah.
They were pretty self-sustaining.
Made their own mac and
It was almost
cheese.
like they weren't in the house when I had the flu. That's how quiet they were. Guys, this is crazy. Erin Krakow has the flu. She, for days on end, and her child is not in this episode. Isn't in it. Didn't make the cut. They just are like, she's sick. Well, obviously you don't have to take care of kids when you're sick. It doesn't happen.
He had to be somewhere though, because she made
said-
he sent a card.
It was. I thought.
He sent
He
a
went
card.
to away camp
He
for
said-
when mom
Well,
is
it was.
sick.
It felt wild because she did mention that they couldn't go with Nathan and Allie because he had plans with, I guess, his nanny Talia, but then he wasn't in school when Rosemary was substituting.
Nope.
And I was like, wait, what is going
He is
on?
non-existent.
Like,
When he hears mom has a
non-existent.
fever, he just disappears
Hey,
until
guys.
it's back to 98.9.
Hey,
Baby
guys.
Jack, are you
I was
there?
hoping.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Jax, how you doing, girl?
Oh, good. We missed you this episode, little guy.
Yeah, trust me, I missed it too. I missed that paycheck. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, sure. Where were you? What was the whole plan there?
They didn't have one.
They
That's
didn't
the
have
whole
one.
thing.
Yeah.
I come on set, I got my cigarettes, and they say, hey, put those out, but we're about to go. And the next thing you know, they're done. And they said, sorry.
So you couldn't be on the show because you had cigarettes?
I don't know.
You don't know
For that for sure.
for sure.
I'm on other episodes. For some reason, this one they said no.
Okay.
And that affects me, my bottom line. I got people
Are they,
that I gotta pay.
are they candy cigarettes, baby Jack?
Yeah, Jack said
Okay.
candy cigarettes.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get somebody in
Good.
trouble here. So do you think that the Baby Jack would have been really helpful when Elizabeth got the
He
flu?
would have been great.
Yeah, it would have been
Give
great.
him an opportunity.
Yeah.
Let him do some work around the house.
Work around the house. Yeah, of course.
My
Yeah.
toys were in the shot.
Toys were in the
My
shot.
toys were in the
Room
house.
looking really cluttered for a kid that's not there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. You got robbed here, buddy.
Literally.
Next pack of menthols is on me. All right, buddy?
As if I would. Wink, wink.
Candy menthols.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Of course.
All right, bye, everybody. Bye, Jax.
Bye, Baby Jack.
Bye. So good to talk to you, baby Jack.
You as well.
That's all I have in the way what department.
It's time for Hopes and Valleys, where we talk about what in this episode gave us hope for the future and/or is bumming us out. Jax, what you got?
Look, I am so hopeful. Are you kidding me? Edie's coming back, and there's going to be a play in Hope Valley. I cannot wait. This isn't even,
Wait
I'm
a
not even
minute.
putting this on as an act.
Time out, 30 seconds. Had I not read you the plots for the next 2 episodes, Jax, what would be your hopes and valleys from this episode of television?
See, now that is tricky.
trick question.
That is tricky. I
Who's
would say
Edie?
that my,
Edie is
oh
Chris
my gosh, are you
McNally's-
kidding me?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She's
I would say
new
no,
here.
that's okay. It's okay. I'm new in town.
New in town.
I would be hoping for more Fiona. I'm hopeful we'll see
Yeah.
more of that storyline because it looks like she's not going to marry that guy.
She's
And
a
my
star.
valley is, I fear that we're not going to have any updates on Ryan and Aaron. I thought that we were investigating, and I haven't heard anything in a
Oh,
couple
that's
weeks.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Shout out.
Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Any word
What's
from
going
your
on? Valentine's Day is coming up this
your
Friday.
middle school
Couple
crush,
days.
Ryan?
What's going on? You and Ryan?
Yeah, my 6th grade crush.
Yes.
sixth grade? Wow.
Yeah, just no updates, Jax. I'm so sorry.
Okay, it's okay. I'm still pulling for you, girl.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
I'm gonna. That name
You
is actually.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
Don't act like we're all jumping on the bandwagon now.
That ship name is Rarin.
It's raring to go.
It's raring to go.
Doesn't seem like it is.
It's raring to go.
Seems like we're the only ones putting in work over here, remembering names and stuff.
Fixing to get raring.
Raring to go. That's right.
Fixing to get rare.
Still a couple days until Valentine's Day. That's all I'm saying. It's still a couple days. So I got to be honest. I'm a little perturbed here.
Little
perturbed. 7 o'clock. I'm a little perturbed here because we had Gowan for one storyline and one storyline only, and it was the nuts. And we all knew as long as the nuts were in Lucas's office, the nut business and the nut storyline and Gowan's storyline in relation was still alive and well. And now the nuts are gone. They kicked the nuts
Gowan
out.
had one scene.
And that's exactly right. And it was packing up the nuts. And now I'm real concerned because if we have the rest of this season and we don't get any more Gowan, I'll be real bummed. And
It's the least amount of Gowan we've ever had.
It's the least amount of Gowan we've ever had,
right?
And I was hopeful we were setting up this thriving nut business.
Yeah,
and we had it. And we let it go.
We
said, get out of here. We got Lucas is moving back into his office. I don't know. I'm bothered by that. And would really like the opportunity to see Gowan and the nut business thrive. Give him an episode. Give it a bottle episode. Gowan.
Just all hazelnuts.
All hazelnut all the time. I would really appreciate that. That would get me on board. Dan?
Yeah, I think you have to be hopeful at a time like this. I mean, we're in, like, you can't get lower. There is no hell like a mid-season When Calls the Heart episode. Like, show me a, episode 5 or 6 where they really do stuff. Like, big things happen. It doesn't happen. So I'm hopeful that it has to be more meaningful than this. I have no choice but to be, because I have to watch this television program. So I'm trying my best here, but this is as bad as it's ever been. So
what about the season finale of Crandall's Store Home?
Ooh, man, that could be a good one.
You didn't like that though.
When did that happen?
It happened a few years ago. You said there's no low like mid-season When Calls the Heart, and I'm saying, so what about the season finale of Crandall's Store Home?
Did that take place in When Calls the Heart?
No, it was no. You're mishearing what I'm saying. There was a show that I used to watch.
I would still take that.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Over any episode of When Calls the Heart.
That's what I was asking.
That's right. Even the good ones.
Let's get to the hope and what's calling my heart.
What's calling my heart?
It's where we read an email. You can send one in, hello@deckthehomer.com, of something that's calling in your heart, bringing you a little bit of joy right now. Dan, who do we have today?
This is Teresa Karp emailing in. She says, hi, Bran, Dan, and Jax.
Hello.
What's calling my heart was being able to spend 2 weeks over the holidays with my daughter in Europe.
Oh,
Since she started college 3 years ago, the longest she has been at home is about for 3 weeks over the Christmas holiday. Her summer jobs have always been out of town. She applied for a grant from her university to study the acoustics in symphony halls. She's a double major. You ready for this? She's a double major in ocean engineering and music performance on the bassoon. She worked on the proposal for almost a year before the grant was awarded. We left the 29th of December for our trip to Edinburgh, Scotland, Bruges and Brussels in Belgium, and Reykjavik, Iceland.
Wow.
We heard some wonderful music from the Scottish Chamber Orchestra and the Iceland Symphony. We celebrated her 21st birthday with beers in Belgium. We attended don't know that word, Celtic. I'm just going to assume she spelled Celtic dance, Celtic dance for New Year's in Scotland, and got to see the Northern Lights in Iceland.
Wow.
We did so much more, but these were some of the highlights. These are memories I know the two of us will cherish for the rest of our lives. Signed, Terry Karp. That's unbelievable.
There you go.
Terry, that is so beautiful, and that you guys have a connection like that. Like, that's really beautiful.
That's this email was way better than this episode deserved.
Here we go. See,
I mean, the plot of that would be like a whole season of like a Gilmore Girls, but cooler, more elevated.
Yeah.
We learned something here. This a Ceilidh dance. It's spelled Ceilidh.
Wow.
Ceilidh dance is a social event at which there is Scottish or Irish folk music and singing, traditional dancing, and storytelling. So it's a Kaylee dance. Is how
Dan
you say
said it
that
must be
word.
Celtic, and I said, "There's no way, bud. There's no way."
No, of course.
Luckily, we Googled
Thanks for
that.
You
calling
knew,
me there.
Brand.
Well,
you knew.
I didn't know much, but I knew there's no way.
Of course,
I know.
of course.
I know
Thanks,
how much-
Terry.
Thank you, Terry, and
Terry.
thank you, Jax. So much
thank you,
fun.
guys.
So much fun
Yeah.
today, and we're only halfway through this season, so
really?
More to go. More to go. So come on back next week. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are.
Until then, may the first to wish you a
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks, a Bramble Jam podcast, is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.